All right. Are you working? You're working.
Working.
All right. It works. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
I got stabbed. What is up, true believers? People who watch our show, comic book fans. Once again, live from San Gabriel, this is the Multiverse Comic Show with your host, Pete Molini, who's going to give you the lowdown on everything that's going down with comic books this week. And I'm here as usual, Dre Cervantes, host of the Dre's Geek Philosophy Podcast, here to help them out and fill the gaps of time in between working out the nonsense. So,
a lot of nonsense.
Well, there is a lot of nonsense. Yeah, that's a lot of what. That's my brand.
Mm-hmm.
Nonsense and crazy
That's your brand.
is my brand. And so we're prepared this week.
We're prepared. I have a list of
List of
topics.
things, and we have a list of things because this is a lot of comic book people dread this. This is the dreaded fifth week.
Fifth week.
Even though it's the first week of August, it is a fifth week of comic books.
So this is the week where everything that's been leaked and delayed comes out.
Mm-hmm.
This is usually the week of annuals.
Yep.
But they don't want to mess with their regular schedule, so a lot of books don't come out, and so
yeah, because normally months are 4 weeks,
Yeah.
but then occasionally as the months progress, there's every quarterly.
Yeah.
There'll always be this extra week in a month or so often where comic fans would be sort of screwed.
Yeah.
I remember. I recall when I was here. I remember DC put out a quarterly Superman book.
Yeah.
Man of Tomorrow. It would come out It would come out on that fifth week. That way, you'd have a Superman book every single week of the year. All 52 weeks.
So it's something that we never got around. Like they never figured it out. They never figured out how to fix that.
They just say, nope. We're just going to continually have this extra Wednesday.
Whatever happens.
Every 3 months and rip our dreams.
So it's kind of slim pickings this week, but you know,
but
we still got stuff.
But because there wasn't a lot of books out today, you had some extra time on your hands. You made notes. He made notes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I see. Where do you want to go? It's your show.
You know what? That's what we did. Comic news first, and then we did the books. So let's go that way.
Let's do that again. Hey, let's do comic book news first.
All right. So the first thing I read about was kind of interesting. The Los Angeles Library Association has licensed the Teen Titans.
Really? For what reason?
To promote their, I guess, a program to get kids to start renewing their library cards, getting library cards. You know, some kids probably don't even have library cards.
I think because of the internet, people don't even know what a library is.
Yeah. Well, the library has the internet, right? So
library does have the internet. This is true.
So yeah, so they've teamed up with DC, and they're gonna be promoting the Teen Titans as come get your library cards.
So literally, kids or adults like ourselves who love comic books can go to the library, get themselves a new library card, and I guess adults like us are gonna be like, can I get the one with Robin or Cyborg or Beast Boy on it, please?
Yeah. No, it is cool too. This is like the Rebirth Teen Titans.
Oh really?
So Chris Burnham is the artward.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's a cool library card, you know.
Oh wow! So does it have all the Titans on it, or okay? So there's just one image. It's not like
one image,
where I was presupposing that there's different.
No, it's
different ones.
It's one image.
It's just one image on with all the current Teen Titans from the Teen Titans book.
Yeah, and they made it especially for this. It's not like a reused cover or anything. It's like a brand new piece of art.
And a lot of times for the kind of stuff, sometimes they do repurpose art, but they have. That's good that there's some original art specifically for this. That's cool. You know, when we were younger, we would forget the library.
And we talked about this earlier in the week, how the library's teamed up with comics in the past. They've done, special issues that they give out to the kids. But I think this is really cool, a good point, a good step in the right direction because 5 years ago, I attempted to do something with the library to promote, comics and reading, and they were totally against it.
Really?
They were totally against it, and I know a lot of library. Growing up, I mean, comics weren't considered literature. It wasn't.
No, they weren't considered books. No.
Yeah. So I remember, I'll never forget when I was a kid. There was this thing where every day we had to read for half an hour in silence. And I remember one day reading a comic book and the teacher taking it from me. And she gave me this Michael Jordan magazine.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, hold on a minute. So, instead of allowing you to read a work of fiction that happens to have a lot of art, you get to read a magazine.
Yeah.
Well, arguably one of the best basketball players of all time. Well, something of which you have no interest in.
No interest. Yeah.
You've never been a sports guy.
No.
Ever. No. As long as I've known you for 20 plus years, you've never been a sports guy.
The only thing I know about Michael Jordan was he teamed up with the Looney Tunes.
That's all you know. The only time you've ever seen Michael Jordan play basketball was in Space Jam. Against the Monstars. Holy crap, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but
the teacher made you read that magazine, a magazine instead of a comic book.
Yeah,
which I guess is just as fictional.
Yeah, but that's the thing I'm saying. Like, so with this whole teaming up with DC, it's really cool. It's a good step in the right direction. You know.
Yeah, because I remember it was in the early 2000s. The girl I was dating at the time, she'd show me that certain libraries in the area actually had graphic novels. They actually had trade paperbacks. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, there'd be some like rare stuff. Yeah. Like I always tell you, like one of your favorite creators, Will Eisner. I remember I read one of his books because they had it at the library, and I had my girlfriend check it out. I'm like, can you check this out on your card? I didn't have my own library card. I eventually got my own card at that point just so I could come back and check out. I'm like, they have a decent selection. I don't know if it was like donations or if it was.
No, you know there's a librarian Comic Con. There's a small convention for all the big studios.
Actually, yes, no, I remember I've done that before. Back when I worked for Nintendo. Fans of Dre's Geek Velocity, take a drink. Yes, there is a library. Like it's a convention for librarians. I remember we had to go to do We Fit. And no, that's totally a thing. I remember that was in the height of Harry Potter. So like Scholastic had a giant freaking booth with all Harry Potter stuff. Yeah, but so Marvel, DC, they show up to this con, I think promoting their graphic novels.
And like at least the last decade, they've been having a big presence there, and they push the graphic novels. Like, so because the thing is, the libraries, you can't just donate stuff to them. Like, I think they have to like go through a whole thing where to decide what can actually go in the library.
Because people just turn out pornography or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that Huck Finn full of N-words is totally okay, but there might be some pornography out there.
Exactly. But you know, it's I don't know. It's interesting. I like the fact that like they're realizing that kids are being interested in comics.
Yeah, and that's true. No, I feel that is something that they should be utilizing, something that they should be taking advantage of and try to appeal to them in any way, shape, or form. And this little where they're literally putting the Titans in the hands of the kids or people getting library cards. I literally wonder if it's only for kids. Like,
oh, that would suck. I kind of want one.
Right? No, like, it's real talk. When you told me about it, I was like, we can go to library cards.
Yeah, right.
I want to get a library card. Maybe there's some graphic novels that are out of print that I could probably check out from the library. I don't know. That's what I remember. That's how I read Bizarro World. I remember that trade. I remember I borrowed Bizarro World from the big library. Actually, that big library by your house.
Oh, the East LA one?
Yeah, the East LA one. Yeah. I remember I checked out Bizarro World from there. I was like, oh, cool. I remember I borrowed that one, like sitting there reading it. Yeah. Because like anytime we had it back at Old Comic Galaxy, it was a sealed one. It was a sealed hardcover. Yeah. So I could never read that book.
You can't read that one.
And then for whatever reason, they had it there. I'm like, thank you. So what other comic book news is going on? So libraries, huzzah! Yeah. If you want a library card with the Titans, go to your local public library. Yeah. Maybe there's some comics there too.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah, probably some comics there too. Yeah. So the other thing I read, so Marvel announced they're doing a book. It ties into the legacy thing.
Okay.
It's called Avengers 1 million BC.
1 million BC.
Written by Jason Aaron.
Oh,
yeah.
one of their best writers.
Yeah.
I love a lot of his stuff. I love his Thor. I love his Wolverine and the X-Men. Good stuff.
And so I don't know if it's a miniseries or it's a one shot or something. But basically, what it is, we're seeing the Avengers of 1 million BC, and it's interesting. Like, so there's an Iron Fist. There's a Phoenix.
Go on.
There's a Ghost Rider riding a woolly mammoth.
Is the woolly mammoth on fire?
It is on fire.
Please continue.
Oh, it gets better.
I want to walk off, but I can't.
It gets better. Agamotto, part of the team.
Wait, the Agamotto, the eye of Agamotto?
Yeah.
The thing that Doctor Strange has on his chest, and in the movies apparently is now the time gem?
Yeah.
All right.
He's part of the team.
Agamotto, all right.
Odin, part of the team. A young Odin.
A young Odin.
And he's holding Mjolnir.
Ha!
Yeah.
Oh, that's the image I saw online the other day where they show. Oh, okay, so that's. Oh, I saw that image of Odin holding the hammer.
And then there's a Black Panther, which is kind of cool.
The first Black Panther in the line of Black Panther is from Wakanda.
The oddball of the whole thing is Star Brand. So we're going New Universal.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Star Brand is like, and it's like they're a team. I don't know what they're fighting or what they're
dinosaurs.
Yeah. And the craziest thing was like they're promoting this like it's gonna be a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bendis said on Twitter that when Jason Aaron pitched this at their retreat, like everybody lost it. They were just like, "This sounds amazing."
I mean, I feel like someone should tweet back to Bendis and say, "Were all of you drunk?"
Yeah.
When you heard this idea, like Stone Age 1 million BC Avengers.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, Jason Aaron is a creative motherfucker,
yeah.
So I don't want to doubt this.
I feel like it's gonna be really dark. It's gonna be like extremely dark.
I would think. I mean, like, I'm already imagining like the bad guy's probably gonna be like lizard men or something. Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna be something like that because you can't just fight.
Yeah.
You just can't fight a T-Rex.
Yeah. Over and over.
I feel like it's just gonna it'll be some sort of lizard-like enemies that.
Mm-hmm.
They are too much for any one hero, so they must all band together.
What was the speech? Was it the day will come? Or was it
It's over there, right?
Over there. Yeah.
A day may come when there's a threat too big for any one hero, so we must gather them all and become the Avengers.
So that's what we got. That got announced.
A flaming woolly mammoth Ghost Rider.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Hey, you know what? Much like most things I eat, I won't knock it till I try it.
There you go. There you go. Then you go. So they're working on the Hellboy reboot.
Okay.
So Ian McShane has been cast as Professor Broom.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like Ian McShane.
But that's like an interesting shift from John Hurt. Like John Hurt was
Yeah.
he was up in the first one, the original series.
Well, you have to keep in mind, Ian McShane is getting up there in years. I mean, he is not a spring chicken, my friend.
But do you see him as this kind of scientist, paranormal investigator,
Maybe he's trying to show range. I mean, like everything we've ever seen him in was Deadwood, creepy, evil.
Yeah.
That King's TV show that only lasted one season on NBC. I'm weird. I like a lot of weird shit. He played the king in the titular Kings, and he was creepy and weird. And American Gods, creepy and weird.
Yeah.
Nailing. Huh. Yeah. So I don't know. John Hurt's character from the Hellboy movie.
Ian McShane's taking that role.
Well, maybe he'll surprise us. Much like Chris Evans surprised us because like, oh, the Human Torch is gonna be Captain America.
Yeah.
That can't possibly be good. Well, maybe Ian McShane will surprise us, but
well, I mean,
I've been wrong in the past.
This whole Hellboy movie is really interesting to me.
Who's playing Hellboy?
It's what's his face from Stranger Things.
With David Harbour.
Yeah, he's playing Hellboy.
Huh.
That's another big shift from Ron Perlman to.
Well, I can kind of see that. He's big and brooding.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people like that guy. And
I like him from that. I feel like, wasn't he in freaking one of the Bond movies? He was the shitty freaking CIA guy in the second one.
Really?
Remember the one who was screwing over freaking Felix Leiter? That was him.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will correct me.
Yeah, I totally forgot that he was in Suicide Squad. He's the guy that Amanda Waller's pitching the whole idea to. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Man, actors, man.
Yeah.
Actors. Sometimes they're freaking chameleons and they freaking hide somewhere you don't even notice them.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
And so the last thing is real. It came out of nowhere. So apparently Valiant, they're making movies. Sony is gonna put these movies out.
Wow, they must really like losing money. All right, go on. So they're making Valiant. They're making Valiant movies. So what are they going with? Exo Manowar? Are they going with freaking Magnus Robot Fighter? I heard that was the first Valiant comic I was aware of.
No, here's the weird thing. The first one they're going out is was it Archer and Armstrong?
Really?
Yeah, that's the first one they're working. Apparently that's in pre-production right now.
They picked their comedy book.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not in charge somewhere. You can't put me in charge because I'm going to use logic. And apparently logic doesn't fly anywhere.
But they announced that that's in pre-production. Well, apparently Dave Bautista,
Drax the Destroyer,
he dropped on Twitter that he is in talks to star in the Eternal Warrior movie. which is
wait.
Yeah.
No, wait. So are you telling me we're gonna have? Well, they probably will update it and change because I'm like, when I think of Eternal Warrior, I think dude in leather with freaking 80s metal hair.
Yeah, that's kind of what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so in this movie they're gonna have Dave Bautista either put on, gonna go watch a bunch of freaking Poison and freaking hair metal bands and be like, put on the hair metal, or they're just gonna reimagine a modern Eternal Warrior, shaved head, Dave Bautista, all tatted out, Eternal Warrior, no leather with the weird jacket with the thing in behind.
Yeah, but he announced that he's in talks and final negotiations to star in that movie. And they're saying too that might be the one that follows up Archer Armstrong because apparently it ties into Archer Armstrong. Like it's like
shared universes. That's what we gotta do nowadays.
So we're getting Valiant movies. I don't know how I feel about that.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah.
Valiant.
I mean, comics are a big moneymaker.
They are. No, we talk about this we talk about this every week here on the Multiverse Comic Show. We talk about it on Dre's Geek Philosophy, comic books.
It's everywhere now.
It's big.
TV, movies.
I mean, we have a Flash TV show.
Yeah.
We have a freaking Green Arrow TV show with a Mr. Terrific and an Atom and all kinds of shenanigans, like Cord Industries and like all these things I never thought would show up in a TV show. It's on TV. That is nuts.
I mean, yeah, like what's it, a couple months we're gonna have a freaking Inhumans TV show.
There's an Inhumans TV show debuting on IMAX.
Yeah. So it's so I guess Valiant had to jump in there.
Valiant.
I'm surprised that they're going with Sony though.
I'm surprised someone is willing to fund this. I mean, does no one like look to history and see like?
Well, the thing about Valiant, because Valiant always came and went. It always came, and then it would disappear, and it would come back, and then like.
Yeah, they're like a roach.
Yeah.
Remember, like I dare not call them a phoenix. They're more like a cockroach. If you step on it, you think it's gone. And all of a sudden, there it is again.
Because I remember at one point, wasn't Image like distributing their stuff for them?
Yeah, I remember a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like Valiant was kind of quote unquote back.
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg Pak was writing
either
Eternal Warrior or some other book of that ilk. Remember, I bought like the first issue. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I mean, I really like Greg Pak. He writes very well. I really loved his Hulk, and this is okay. I didn't continue on from there, but yeah, like they just keep coming back.
They keep going back. So I mean,
someone's willing to fund them.
Well, the thing is that Valiant was companies where I find people that are hardcore Valiant fans, and you just don't expect it. You're just like, oh, really?
like they were all over it back in the '90s.
Yeah,
they've hung on to that fanhood. There's those people like that. That's what that was their band.
Yeah, exactly.
That was their introduction to comic books, and that's what they've hung on to. So yeah, I love Rye. I love Bloodshot.
Like honestly, I don't think I've ever read a Valiant comic. Like I don't. Yeah, no.
I think back when I worked in Golden Age Comic Galaxy, I think I did read a few here and there. They weren't good.
Yeah.
I remember the art style, and the edit. Like, that was the thing. That was the first time I started noticing like differences between comics. I remember the art style and the editing of Valiant books were very different. They felt different. That whole like I don't know, that whole gym shooter kind of vibe.
Yeah.
They tried to cram as much information on the page as possible. Everything felt very cramped, and then the art was always just like, I mean, other than the Barry Windsor Smith stuff. Barry Windsor Smith's got an acquired taste. So.
Yeah. So we're getting Valiant movies. So we'll see.
I don't know how I feel about this, but hey, we'll see
we'll see how that goes, right?
So, any other comic news, or
I think we're gonna go. Let's get into the comics.
Let's get to the comics. Comics.
So we talked about earlier. We are in August, so that is Jack Kirby month.
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby.
New Gods.
He would have been 100 years old.
That's right. There's King Kirby right there.
He's here. So DC is doing a lot of cool stuff. They're doing a lot of these one shots, like special.
Is this the Jim Lee cover? No,
it's like Shane Davis, I think.
Oh, because like I looked at some of the face, like some of the line work.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a Jim Lee disciple.
Yeah.
But looks really good.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like, you get a Shane Davis story, and then you what's his face?
Simonson?
Well, Simonson. He does like a young Orion story. And then afterwards, there's some cool like Jack Kirby reprinted stories.
Oh, really? In the back?
Yeah, like back when he would do like these like 2-page stories to explain like who characters were.
Oh shit! Look at that. The Young Gods of Supertown.
And so
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Mother boxes. Jack must have been really high when he came up with mother boxes. Cal in the back, the cruel.
Yeah.
Can't wait till he shows up in the
I know
DC
it's gonna happen.
Universe movie.
So this is a cool little thing. It's a one shot. You know,
The King lives.
you know, we're focusing on Orion,
Mm-hmm.
New Gods, and everything. I think next week we're getting a Mr. Miracle.
Oh, right, that's right. You mentioned this last week when we were talking about the Kirby books.
Yeah, Tom King is working on that.
Oh, Tom King. He's a hot name.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
So what else do we got here?
Yeah,
We have some more Kirby stuff over here.
Yeah.
From the Marvel side, are these reprints?
They're reprints, yeah.
Celebrating Kirby 100th. So we have Black Panther number.
Salmon. I think it's when he came back to the book.
Well, this is when Kirby came back to the book. So you see the distinctive Kirby style.
Oh yeah.
Lots of bright colors. Lots of energy dots. Energy dots is freaking a Jack Kirby freaking hallmark.
The Kirby crackle.
The Kirby crackle,
Yeah.
just like in this mural you see behind us every week. The Kirby crackle.
Yeah.
Energy, because I noticed those in the corner. I'm like, what's going on with these? I thought this was movie related, but no, this is a Kirby. And it was a very unique style.
Yeah, they're cool. Like these are really cool because they're reprints. They're $1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's freaking awfully kind of them. So just only charge $1 when they probably could have like tried to jam everybody for more.
Oh yeah.
And this is something I was not aware of.
Yeah.
King Kirby drew Avengers.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
This was a big issue because this is when Cap joined the team,
Mm-hmm.
and
I like how they don't put the number of the book.
Yeah.
People don't get confused.
this is when Cap joined the team.
It's like
and
Avengers 4, isn't it? Or
I think so. Or 6 or something like that.
4.
Oh yeah, good job. There you go.
I don't remember a lot of things, but I remember stupid things that are useless.
And so this was a big deal when it came out because
Right.
Cap had been gone for like a decade or two at this
Mhm.
point. And so then they reintroduced them because it even says in the very beginning, they're like the fans demanded it, so we brought them back. Like it's like there's a whole thing in there about.
Because a wonderful avalanche of fan mail demanded, Captain America joins the Avengers. Namor finds a fucking body in the ocean. Namor finds this. Then freaking the Avengers fucking notice a freaking figure. That's hilarious. Bucky, look out!
And this cool moment when he wakes up and he's all freaked out. He kicks all their asses. Like he
Oh, really?
just like plows through them, dude.
Oh, you're mad.
Just like,
Well, there was no Hulk because Hulk had already quit at this point.
yeah.
There's no way he would have kicked the Hulk's ass.
Yeah.
He even beat down Giant Man.
Yeah, so these are really cool. And they're going to release a bunch of these throughout the month. And like
Really?
2 a week, I think. And so we're getting like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They got a checklist in the back. So we got like Avengers 4. We have Groot.
Yeah.
He drew a Groot book. I'm so happy.
He drew, that was like a Tales of Suspense or one of those books.
Mhm.
That was the first appearance of Groot. Yeah.
Oh, so they're not going to call it this. They call it Groot 1, so you want to buy it.
Yeah, of course.
Thor versus the Hulk. Mighty Thor Mighty Thor. Oh, when he actually got his own book and got Tales of Suspense. The Eternals, the Inhumans, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Iron Man, wow, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Devil Dinosaur. I'm sure you're excited about that.
That's gonna be fun stuff, man.
A lot of King Kirby, man.
Yeah. So all this month they're gonna be releasing these books.
This is cool, and I really like this because this really gives people some perspective of what comics were like.
Yeah.
Like before this, modern era. Like the comics were very different. There's so many words.
Yeah.
A lot of
A
dialogue.
lot of dialogue. It had to explain things.
Everything was very they explain things, and I missed the simplicity of hey look, this is why things are happening.
You have
Hey dummy.
your narrator,
Yeah, narrators. You know how important narrators are. Oh,
we don't get that anymore.
We don't get narration anymore.
Yeah.
And
so then
what else we got?
we're gonna. It kind of works into this. So we're doing the first issue of Generations.
We have a Generations came out already.
Yeah.
One of the Generations
One of the
books.
Generations
Holy
books.
crap! So we got a Hulk, the strongest Generations.
Yeah.
Greg Pak. Yeah, I'm just talking about him.
It's pretty cool. Like I had no idea what this book was gonna be about.
Right, because we had no idea how they were gonna do these things.
It's this cool story where and they don't really explain how, but Amadeus Cho is thrown back in time.
Okay.
And he meets like a Hulk in his early career. Thunderbolt Ross is still hunting him. The army's chasing after him and everything. And it's this kind of cool story where he gets to meet his hero, like when they're about similar ages.
Uh huh.
And And it's kind of a messed up story, man, because you kind of realize that, you know, I mean, the show realizes that it's not that great to be the Hulk. Like,
no, it's a pretty shitty existence.
Yeah. And so I mean, this is the first one they put out. Really, I think like no real explanation on like why they're meeting or how they're meeting, but it was a good read. It was interesting. You know, you get to see them meet and.
And then right here you see Amadeus Cho and Bruce Banner interact, and when they finally Hulk finally calms down.
Yeah, and then you kind of get that whole culture shock for Amadeus Cho because it's like, you know, there's no internet, there's no like, you know.
It's hard for him to get around. A young person from the modern era. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so, and it's it's a cool callback to Bruce Banner, which we haven't seen in a while, except for that weird little cameo. And
no, I don't even know what's going on over there. What? Return to Planet Hulk? What?
Yeah, that's what the arc is after Generations is over.
Oh, good. Take this away. Take this away from me. Take it away. Return to Planet Hulk. I already lost my shit about that last week. What else do we got?
So this is a real cool one. So we got Avengers 10.
Avengers number 10. Mark Waid's Avengers, and then we have the Hydra Avengers. We have, you know, Thor and Taskmaster and the Superior Octopus and the Wasp, I presume.
No, it's some kind of Ant-Man.
Some kind of other Ant-Man. Yeah. Okay, and then Deadpool, Scarlet Witch, and the Vision.
Yeah. And so the thing is that we've seen these characters in Secret Empire, but they haven't really spent any time with them. We don't know why they're a team or how they're, you know. And this kind of gives you an insight of like how they work together, why they work together.
Black Ant.
And
what the hell? I thought he had a wife and kids.
Oh well.
Apparently, I need to finish reading that Tom King book. Okay, go on.
Shit goes down in that book, man. And so yeah, it's really cool. Like people have been really interested with this team. It's an interesting team just by looking at it, you know.
Right, you got Odin's son, you got the Thor without the hammer.
Yeah. And so now we get a little peek into like, you know, who these guys are, why they're a team. Like there was a thing online where people were like demanding they wanted to give these guys their own book, and they're like, no, that's not gonna last. So why, you know?
It's not like the Dark Avengers, you know, back during the friggin' after Secret Invasion, Dark Reign.
And then this book has been really good because it's Mark Waid and this guy, what's his Del Mundo? Like his art is insane, man. Like I really like the stuff he's doing.
Stuff like this looks like freaking straight up painted, man. Yeah. And he actually got 22 pages done. Yeah. That's freaking nuts.
So yeah, it's a good read. It's a cool like one-off too. Like, you know, like so if you're reading Secret Empire, if you're not reading this book, you could just read this one issue.
Oh, really? Because this is one of I actually try to pick up the Mark Waid Avengers book myself, so this won't feel out of place. So I can just me not having to buy Secret Empire. Ugh.
Well, the whole thing too is that Mark Waid, the way he's been writing Avengers lately, they've been kind of like one shots.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've noticed that some of the early issues I've read before. All right, cool. So cool book, Avengers number 10. Swing back, pick it up. Yeah. What else we got?
We got Spider-Man 19.
Spider-Man, Miles Morales. So this one, so this book was late. Yeah. for this to show up. Yeah. On this dreaded 5th week that we were speaking of.
Yeah. So it's one of the later books. So it's Miles Morales. Miles Morales, the former. The former Ultimate Spider-Man.
Former Ultimate Spider-Man now.
Now he's in the regular 616 universe. And it's really cool. I think people that enjoy the movie, the Spider-Man Homecoming,
right? They'll really enjoy the Miles Morales.
They'll really enjoy the Miles Morales run because they borrowed a lot from that character.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like real talk. Like the Homecoming, it really felt like that young Spidey that Bendis is really good at writing.
So right now Miles is dealing with the fact that his mother found out that he's Spider-Man.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure that doesn't go well.
And he's dealing with a lot of regular teenage stuff, but also the fact that he almost died, and so it's.
Does this take place after Secret Empire, or is this some other?
It hasn't caught up to Secret Empire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It hasn't caught up to Secret Empire, but it's a really cool issue. Like he's not even Spider-Man in this issue, I think, but.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it when there's stuff like this where like they kind of like ground the book and show you what the superhero is like outside of the typical. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I like it when they kind of ground the characters for an issue.
Yeah, so, Miles is a really good character, man. Like, Bendis, I remember when they first announced him, I remember I was, like, really iffy on the idea of, like, having a different Spider-Man, like, you know, like, and then
it turns out to be one of his best creations.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Would you dare say spectacular?
There you go.
I'm fired. So, Spider-Man number 19.
Yeah.
Highly recommended. I will always recommend a Bendis book. Like, no questions asked.
Oh, Bendis is the best.
Bendis lost like 60 pounds. I don't know if you saw that picture. Holy shit.
He looks like
he's like dieting and biking. He looks like half a Bendis.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look like himself.
Yeah, it was very odd.
Yeah, he looks like some sort of mole man. Mole man Bendis. All right, so what do we got here?
I haven't had a chance to read this yet.
We haven't had a chance to read it, but
this is just, we had to talk about this.
For those of you, like, we got Adventure Time, X regular show. So two of the big Cartoon Network franchises.
They're crossing over.
They're crossing the streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, regular show is totally weird.
Yeah.
And so is Adventure. Well, Adventure, I don't know. I feel Adventure Time is less weird, but more whimsical.
Yeah, I can see that.
But regular show is totally weird.
Yeah. And so, this is just, I mean, I haven't had a chance to read it, but I feel like I flipped through it.
Who are the two main guys? Where's Mordecai and freaking...
I have no idea.
They're not on here. Mordecai and the bird.
Rigby,
yeah. Huh.
So
weird.
It's...
You got Finn and Jake, but where's Mordecai and Rigby? Totally weird.
It just feels like this old classic stuff where, you know, like the two properties just cross over and, you know,
chaos ensues.
Yeah. And that's what it looks like from the get-go.
How do Finn and Jake leave the world? I guess maybe they freaking get teleported to some other world. There's Mordecai. All right. He just didn't put him on the cover. And the weird dude with the fucking the guy who looks like a fucking gumball machine. That guy bothers me every time.
You know the crazy thing about that character?
What is it?
So they did a Funko Pop set of all the characters. That one goes for like $200.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he rare?
No, they were all the same, but I think it was just like it was so different, you know.
Well, because it wasn't the typical Funko.
Yeah.
He had this fucking gumball machine head, so everyone's like, different is weird, different is rare, we must take it. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
I have to check that gas station by my work. Maybe they have one. You never know.
You never know. So yeah, so it's like, you know,
all these characters. I see the freaking Ice King, and then the Frankenstein-looking weirdo, and
this is a classic. It's like an old school crossover, man.
Like when the Jetsons would meet the Flintstones.
There you go.
It's kind of like that.
Kind of like that.
Interesting. So for those of you Cartoon Network people who love your weird cartoons, Adventure Time regular show, that's a thing.
That's a thing. That is a thing.
Hey, now, is there actually a Rick and Morty comic book?
There is a Rick and Morty comic book.
But you don't carry it.
No, I do. It sells out very good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, apparently I would need to put that on my pull list if I want.
It's all right. It's pretty good.
It's just not the same machine of hate, self-hate like the show is. That's fueled by Dan Harmon and
I feel like comic books that are based on a really popular show that are really odd because it's like sometimes you get these writers, these professional writers that are just fans of the source material and they want to write something, but then you're just like, oh, this is kind of like fan fiction, you know, like
slash fanfic.
Yeah. So
what if Morty wasn't a piece of shit?
I mean,
what if Rick cared?
Yeah. Like, it's interesting, but I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Oh, okay, because I know that one book, the Free Comic Day one that I grabbed, it was amusing. It wasn't like amazing, but I was amused by it. Yeah. Any Rick and Morty I can get in my hands, I'm more than happy to get my.
Especially when they make us wait 2 years.
Yeah, they make us wait 2 years between episodes. So, well, that's cool. So those are the highlights of this week.
That's the highlights of this week.
Right. Yeah, very interesting. Cool. So I think we should just wrap things up there. I mean, like we did all the good. I kind of like doing the comic news first.
Yeah, evens out, right?
It evens out.
So the one last thing I wanted to talk about was
please.
The August 15th, which is like 2 weeks from now, right?
2 weeks from now.
We're having a midnight release for Dark Days Metal.
Dark Days Metal.
That's the big DC Batman centric event.
Mm-hmm.
It's reuniting Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Nice.
And no idea what it's about.
But we're gonna find out the hard way.
Yeah, and so we're gonna be open here at 10 p.m. And we're closing at 1.
At midnight, you'll be able to buy Dark Days Metal.
Dark Days Metal. Yeah.
Dark Days.
Or Dark Nights. Dark Days, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure.
That's why I'm throwing off. I'm like, are they really going like Dark Days instead of Dark Night?
Yeah, no, it's Dark Days Metal.
Metal!
And then they just made the announcement that I guess we're allowed to sell the DC books at midnight too.
Oh, well, any of the DC books that come out that week. Also up for grabs, so all you DC fans can get your books at midnight, Tuesday night.
That's kind of nuts, right?
Hey, anything to sell a book, you know?
No.
That sounds cool. Hey, so make sure if you're a fan, if you want that crazy Batman event, you said April 15th. No, August 15th. I am bad with words. August 15th. Here. And opening up at 10 p.m. Hang out with Pete. I might be here. The usual nostalgic books and comics crowd will be hanging out here. Because I remember coming for other midnights, and it was quite humorous.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's an eclectic cast of characters.
And the cool thing too, like, so there's going to be variant covers, obviously.
Yep.
But there's going to be special midnight release variant covers
that you can only get at the midnight release. So people, you variant collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be here.
Gotta be here. Gotta jump on that.
And August 15th, 10 p.m. Books go on sale at midnight.
Yep. And then for everything we talked about and everything else that came out this week, we have all the covers up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, on the Nostalgic Books and Comics
Facebook page.
On the Facebook, Nostalgic Books and Comics.
All one word.
All one word. You can always follow Pete at nostalgic_comics. See, so much easier when it's written down for me. And they're on Instagram, and the store is on Instagram as well, at nostalgic_comics. And you can follow me at DreGP Podcast. And remember, we're here every Wednesday talking comics. Sometime in the 8 o'clock hour. Today we're late because we're eating, we're kind of BSing, we're kind of preparing for the show, you know. You know how we do. We're comic book clerks.
Yeah, exactly.
we operate our own time.
Yep.
You can't shop here anymore. As always, remember, you can watch us on Mondays as well, doing Dre's Geek Philosophy, Monday nights at 8 p.m. You can also, if you're into video games, I on this same channel, we do Dre versus Super Nintendo, Saturday nights, around the 8 o'clock hour as well. I'm fighting Super Metroid right now. If that's something you're interested in, come check it out. So, for myself, Dre Cervantes, I am the companion to your doctor.
There you go.
There we go. That's a really good. And your host, Pete Malini, the owner, the proprietor of Nostalgic Books and Comics. That is our show for tonight. Have yourselves a good night. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, come down, buy your books from this man. Come down, man. There's some books right now. Come get your books. Get your books, son. Good night.
Good night.